Hello, I am Dawn, and I'm going to be doing a reading about the solstice. Now, the solstice is actually happening this evening, but is going to actually last all the way until September 22nd, when we have the sun moving into Libra. And so that is kind of our guide mark for how far out we're going to be looking for this particular reading. I'm going to be drawing an oracle card, and then I'm going to draw 3 tarot cards. So what I'm doing now is just shuffling this energy into the deck, because when you are here with me, we're in a quantum time, because whenever you watch this, your energy's here. So I'm just getting myself into that quantum time frame. Let me just shuffle the oracle decks. I'm using the Psychic Tarot oracle deck. And the reason I'm using this one is because it's very much, I feel, one that is not just all goody, positive, nothing but positive stuff. We're facing challenges all the time. And I feel like if the cards want to say that there might be something coming up for you in the next 3 months that might be challenging, I wanted to address that and then have 3 cards to really clarify what the oracle card is saying. So we're going to start with Aries, and the oracle card for Aries, awareness. Now, Aries does have Neptune and Saturn there, so this is kind of funny for me, because it's things have been much more clear for you, I think, with that energy. And you have to feel a whole lot better that Mars is now in Virgo. And because it had spent 2 months, I'm sorry, not 2 months. It had spent since September 2nd in either Leo or Cancer. That's a really long time. And the retrograde is horrible for anybody that is Mars ruled. So for you, it was pretty tough. It was definitely tough. So let's take a look at what the energies are for you for the next 3 months. And again, that is awareness that came out. I think it has a lot to do with Neptune. Okay, so we do have the Ace of Pentacles. Let's see. Oh, we have something else flip here. Sorry. Ooh. Well, we'll take these. Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. There is something new headed your way. And be aware. Part of this energy, I think, for you is we do have, with the sun entering in, it's going to be in a square with whatever's in Aries right now. So there's new ideas coming in. Uranus is at 29 degrees of Taurus. So that is an energy that you're just quite not, it would be a square and a half, basically, to what's going on in your area. And things that are that exact are pretty powerful, because a semi-square is just as powerful as a square is. So what is new coming into your life? And I feel like you've been on this journey. And to me, this represents that whole Mars energy of the retrograde, because it's just like, oh, it's finally over, finally at the end. And Mars moving into Virgo is getting stuff done, getting it done. And I know Aries for sure likes to get things done. Scorpio is very much, doing the research. What is my next step? What do I want to concentrate on? And you do have the 10 of Cups energy here. So I think it's a little bit easier sailing for you now that you have this energy. I am kind of laughing because with the sun entering 0 degrees of Cancer, we have Hecate, who is the goddess of the new moon. She is at 0 degrees of Scorpio. Trine energy. So my advice is to, because the sun would be square to the planets in Aries, and the sun would be trine to Hecate in Scorpio. Use the energy of the new moon coming up, because I feel that that will help you with where you're going next. What do I want to wish for? The new moon in Gemini was great. Think differently. Now we are looking at the energy of what do I want to make happen? I will say part of this going on is this energy of Cancer energy and Jupiter there. Emotions that you've kept inside are going to come out one way or another. You're not going to be able to keep your emotions hidden anymore. So they're going to come out one way or another. And my advice is to find sort of a safety valve with the Mars energy and let that come out in a way that is less destructive. So physical activity. And I would say I would also allow that to happen. You need to deal with some of this energy. That's why there's a square there. There's no getting out of it. It will cause you to have to deal with it. So be prepared for that. So we're going to look next at Taurus energy. What is the card for Taurus? The waiting game. The second I picked this up and looked at it, the waiting game, it's like, how eager are you for Uranus to be out of Taurus? Isn't that exciting? The other thing that is happening is you do have Venus in that sign, which I'm sure is a huge relief for you as well, because she has been basically, she was stuck in Aries, Pisces, then Aries again. And she just got out of Aries because of all that retrograde energy. Yeah, that wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. Hopefully you did the release with the spiritual review with me and release some of that energy. It's never too late to journal and burn and release energy. It was tough. It was really, really tough. So that's what I'm thinking this waiting game is. You do have Venus in Taurus. It's really helping your sign. You've got, now you can get stuff done. Taurus is very much about that. But the interesting thing, and I think this is going to be important for you, Venus meets up with Uranus at 29 degrees of Taurus, a house that she rules, before she enters into Gemini. So I think watch for unexpected things occurring, especially if you have anything in the late degrees of Taurus. I think that's big energy for you. Right now, I'm trying to think of there's nothing really in Capricorn. Virgo has Mars there. So if you have anything that basically it's not that far into Virgo, so utilize that energy. It's trine energy to you, and that you'll be able to get more things done. Use Mars to your benefit. So, and that would make Venus is moving pretty quickly. I don't think Mars is going to catch up with her for a bit. So let's take a look. What 3 cards want to come out for you? I put all the cards back in because it makes me crazy not to. Disappointment. Heartbreak. Let's see what else. This is just ugly. 5 of Wands. Argumentative. Getting out of there. Taurus, there is just something I think you need to get away from. This is moving on to calmer waters. And you really don't like ruckus. You don't. So having these cards come up, I'm not sure exactly of what you're waiting on, but wait till the moment. I think if you're waiting on something, that moment when Venus and Uranus are together, and that will happen the beginning of July, because Uranus hits Gemini on July 7th, 7/7/25, 7/7/7. So it's very important that you utilize those dates ahead of time. Actually, let me double check that energy so I know exactly when that happens for you, because I think this is important. So hang in there. Oh, it'll be July. Oh, it'll be a different book. Ta-da-dum. July. I am sure of it. I think it's the early days of July, but let's double check that energy because I'm very picky about that too. And I think that's going to be, if you're waiting on something, especially if you're in this kind of icky situation, my book there, and you're kind of in an icky situation, I would say Venus conjuncts Uranus on July 4th. And then Venus moves in that same day into Gemini. A good time to make a move, especially if you're getting away from something. No lie. So that's what I feel for Taurus. That, gosh, it just feels like really difficult energy. Utilize the Mars in Virgo energy to make a plan and strategize. So when it's time to move on, it's like, okay, out of here. Mars will be in Virgo for usually it's 45 days. So I believe it's August. It's August when Mars goes in to Libra, which isn't going to be too fun for Mars because Libra is more about let's be diplomatic, and Mars is not. That's not its favorite thing, is to be diplomatic. Sorry. So we do have that energy. So for Gemini, we're looking at for Gemini. Throat chakra. Well, that makes perfect sense. Why does it make perfect sense? Mercury is about communication. Throat chakra. The interesting thing that we have for the solstice is Mercury is in Cancer, like at about 20 degrees, and will be later in this month going into a really strong sextile with Uranus. So it's how you think. And again, with Jupiter entering into Cancer and Mercury is in Cancer, I would say that there are emotional issues that might come up from the past, and you're going to feel the need to say something. Watch that energy. Cancer's in Virgo, so I'm not too worried about it being an explosive energy until you get later on in the month when you have, let me see if I have that up here. Mercury is going to be in a sextile so that's beneficial energy, an opportunity to say something, maybe something unexpected, or somebody communicates that with you and you didn't see it coming. That could be something as well. But it's really not, the energy isn't, honestly, that could also be messages coming in, higher level messages, I would say. So be open to those kind of things coming through. So what do we have? Okay, now you're ready. Nine of Pentacles. This is a very independent woman. And we will have Venus moving into Gemini. So she likes to get things done. Venus in Gemini is really great with communicating. She can be a bit of a flirt. Geminis are very social. So Venus gets very social during that time. But it's actually, I think, to your benefit, because there's things that you can be involved with. You will have Uranus on July 7th coming in. And that energy, be grounded. Be very grounded. Three of Cups. This is your besties. This is who you hang out with. This is the people that you trust. And I think, to me, this speaks of, I'm getting this energy. I'm just going to draw one more card because what I'm getting, this makes so much sense because Uranus is going to be entering Gemini during this 3-month period, and it's going to be there for most of that time. So it's the Tower. This is very Uranus. This is very unexpected. Jobs are changing. But I do feel that for you, networking is going to be very great energy. And I would say women-owned businesses, throat chakra, 9 of Pentacles, working together with your friends. I just got something coming in like a co-op kind of thing, like a farmer's market kind of thing. That energy of co-working. Then you have the Tower, but I don't think this is a bad thing. I have Mercury will be in a sextile right before it goes in. It'll be in Cancer. It's going to be going into Virgo, and then it's going to be joining up with Mars. So great opportunities, and it'll eventually conjunct Mars. So watch out for that coming forward, because you're in charge of Mars now because it's in Virgo. So all those lovely little details, you can get things done. You can get things done. That is great energy. So I would say that's the most beneficial thing for you right now, is to take advantage of Mars being in Virgo, another sign that is ruled by Mercury. So take advantage of that. Now we do have Cancer coming up next. So this is for Cancer. This is a Cancer energy. Oh, wants to be shuffled more. So let's start by taking a look at what the Oracle card is. Financial and material changes. Interesting that Jupiter just moved in to Cancer. It is in a square, so maybe things are a little bit unknown, a lot of work. Keep at it though, because what I think is going to be happening is things will get easier once Jupiter moves away from that square, as well as the sun moving away from that square. So starting probably in with I would say a week. In a week, it will be far enough away from the sun, will be far enough away from the energy of the square to be beneficial. But the really cool thing is that the sun today and Hecate in Scorpio are both at 0 degrees. Do some magic. You've got Mercury in your sign as well. So I would say this is a great time for you to look at the financial gains. The new moon is coming up in Cancer. It's conjunct Jupiter. The moon is in its own sign. Very powerful time for manifesting. We are going to do a live manifesting ritual on Wednesday at 11 Eastern. So join us for that or watch the recording. So financial and material changes. And I think these are for the better. I do think these are for the better. So what do we see in the cards coming forward in the tarot? Okay. It wants me to shuffle it one more time and then cut the deck. So the cards have their own opinions. Okay, here we go. King of Pentacles. Someone who keeps their own counsel. Very money oriented. So I feel like there might be an advisor for you that could help you with some of these decisions that you're making. There's disappointment here. Let's see what else this has to say. Knight of Swords, moving quickly. I think if there are going to be losses and disappointment. Hang on. I want to clarify this 3 of Swords. Please clarify. Oh, you want to come out. 3 of Swords energy, 7 of Cups. Too many choices. Knight of Swords is moving on quickly. That's movement. Too many choices. What else can we clarify? Recognition and the world. I think I feel like there's big changes. And Jupiter is going to be more helpful to you the further we get into the rest of the year. Right now, I think it's a little difficult because there's so much going on in the collective that I think it's interfering with you. So I would be aware of that. I mean, when you have the world is changing. Jobs are changing. Things are changing. I would say have a good strategy, because I feel like the King of Pentacles does. And whatever happens is going to happen, and it's probably going to happen for everybody. But be prepared to move forward. Because even if it's something that's disappointing, you only have so long to get over it, because things are moving in such a rapid way, especially when Uranus gets into Gemini, much, 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 much quicker. It's a very strong energy. All right. We are going to Leo energy. What is the oracle card for Leo? Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Leo, I really think for you, one of the big events of the year is going to be the 8-8 gate. The 8-8 gate, Lion's Gate. So I think that is something, and this is a number 7 card. So I think that there's choices out there for you. And let's see what the tarot card has to say about these changes that are out there for you. Okay, Leo. All right, here we go. Yeah, there are choices. So you do have to make a choice, and you are weighing your options. Choose wisely. Definitely choices. Definitely choices. Wish upon a star. Now, this is Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is opposite to you. So we did have Mars finally leave that energy, and we do have Pluto currently in Aquarius. So the early degrees, this might be affecting you, especially the early degrees of Aquarius. I have like a 6-degree Aquarius moon. King of Swords. Again, Aquarius energy. I think Lion's Gate is going to be huge for you. I would pay attention when we get to that point, what you might have in that sign, what you have in Leo, what might be opposing it in Aquarius, because not only is Pluto there, we also have Chericlo is there. And Chericlo is the healer. So I think there's some really interesting opportunities that are available for you. And Chericlo is at about 20 degrees of Aquarius right now. So I think that is the energy. Choose wisely. Wish granted. I like it for you. And I do think that the Lion's Gate energy is going to be huge for you. So pay attention to the astrology going on at the time and the cards going on at that time, because I think that is really going to be big for you. So after Leo comes Virgo. So we're in Virgo energy. What is the card? I'm just going to pull up the oracle card here in a second, but getting the energy of Virgo. So what's the oracle card? Heart chakra for Virgo. It's interesting right now. We do have the South Node in Virgo. To me, that is very much giving up victim mentality. It's, you don't have to be in charge of everything. You don't have to be in the head person for the, I keep getting this image of a mom that's in charge of all the school extra activities and raising money and that kind of thing. That doesn't have to be you all the time, right? It can be other people. The heart chakra, I want to mention Pluto and Virgo, because there's many of us that are around. It was 1957 to 1972, maybe. So all of the 60s, Pluto and Virgo energy. Very much an energy of the patriarchy. We didn't get the ability to have our own credit card fully legally from the Supreme Court until the 70s. This may be a shock to many of you that are younger than that. But yeah. So what is the heart chakra saying? I think we have to listen to more of this Virgo energy. I have Venus and Pluto conjunct in that area. And it's going to be very interesting when the South Node meets up with Mars, because Mars is currently in Virgo. So that's really good energy for you to get things done. I think you may take a hit when Mars hits the South Node. We'll see what energies are with the other planets when that happens, because it's always important to look. You're not in a vacuum. Your sign isn't in a vacuum. So, Knight of Cups. I love the Knight of Cups. It's movement going forward, but it's the enjoying the journey. It's the energy of, yes, I'm getting things done, but I can stop and enjoy this moment. And Virgo does not do enough of that at all. So what else do we have here? Three of Wands. Use the energy of the new moon in Cancer. That will be sextiling the energy in Virgo. Three of Wands is waiting to receive. And I do get a lot of energy of, especially Virgo, of be in your own power. Do not be anybody's doormat. You're no longer serving the table, you're sitting at the table. And carry water, chop wood just came into my brain, because what I think is you set your intentions, you do your daily stuff like you should be doing. And what happens is stuff then naturally starts flowing in, right? I usually get big, when I'm doing something as simple as washing dishes and I don't have music on because I get too distracted. I dance when there's music on. If I'm just doing simple chores, that's when I get downloads. Like I have a question, there's something that I'm thinking about, and then I let it go. I let it go, and then I just perform a task, a very mundane, ordinary task. And I am only thinking about that. And by the way, that's a secret to manifesting, because then the universe is like, okay, they're not thinking about it. They're not checking the oven every 5 minutes. We have time to get things in place. So what happens then is that's when the ideas come in. That's when the downloads happen. It'll just come completely out of the blue. It's fantastic. It's really fun. It's a way to really get the most out of your intuition, because it's in those moments of quiet. And meditation works too, but I really have found carry water, chop wood, and be in the task in the moment of now. And stuff will just come in naturally for you. It's great. It is great. So what is the last card for you? And what did I say? Temperance. Because Archangel Michael has your back and will be putting things in the right place at the right time. So that means carry water, chop wood, the angels have your back, enjoy the journey for the moment. Things are going to be coming into you. They are. So trust that energy. And then just, set your intentions and release them. Because if you keep, like I said, doing the energy of, is it here yet? It's not here yet. It's not here yet. If you keep doing that, then that's the energy the universe understands. It's like, oh, they want more of, it's not here yet. But if you're like, I don't know how things, you ever have moments where it's like, I don't know how things could get any better. Feed that energy. Feed that energy. Because what'll happen is the universe says, oh, challenge accepted. You don't know how things could get any better? Let me show you. Let me work on that for you. And if conversely you say, I don't know how things could get any worse, the universe goes, hold my beer, right? Let me show you how bad things can get. So never go there. Never, ever go there. We are now moving on to Libra energy. So what is the card for Libra? Prosperity begins. Air sign. Well, actually, now that I think of it, that is probably going to be very true, because here's what's going to be happening. We are going to have Uranus moving in to Gemini. Yes, we are going to be we currently have Pluto in Aquarius. They are air signs. They are in a trine. Anything that's in Libra is, especially we're talking early Libra, is going to be getting this trine energy of these big outer planets. So if you have personal planets in the early areas, I don't care who you are, in the early areas of Libra, anything personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, I think you'll find that it's going to affect you in a big way well, Libra is the world stage. So you're getting hit with this anyway, because it's a cardinal sign. So you are in an opposition to the stuff going on in Aries. And you have to learn how to balance that power. But you're Libra. That's what you do. So what are the cards? So it's prosperity begins. So you do have a nice long-term outlook with that coming forward. 5 of Cups. But you have to get over this energy of, oh, I had some cups that spilled. I had some cups that, she's not looking in the right place. She's not focusing on the right thing. The answers are all around her. The choices are all around her. And that's what I always see with this 5 of Cups energy, because she is sitting there. Yes, 3 cups have spilled. 1 cup is tipping, but it's creating its own magical vortex. And then you have this full of magic bowl that's bigger than the other ones that is sitting right beside her. You have this beautiful night sky that she could be sitting back and just looking up at the stars. She also has another road to take behind her. But right now, she's not looking in the right place. She's not appreciating the magic around her. She's not appreciating the other things that she can travel forward and do. So what's the next card here? Moving. This is the 6 of Swords, moving into calmer waters. I do feel like because you have at the very beginning this energy of being in an opposition, if you have the early degrees, I think things will get calmer because we have things that are going to be sticking around in that general area. We will have both Saturn and Neptune going back into Pisces and then re-entering for the last time into Aries. And that will be big, especially if you have anything at the early degrees of Libra. So pay attention to that. Also, 8 of Swords. I think this is the problem. You are getting up in your head too much. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is the problems are in your mind. They're not real. And you need to get out of that negative mentality. That's what it feels like. Prosperity begins, but you're hindering it. You're hindering it with that negative mentality. You're not looking at the positive. To me, that's what this says. Libra's not looking at the positive, and it's hard to bring anything in when it's like stuff never gets here. I'm always having bad luck. You have too many powerful planets that are taking aim at where you're at right now that you have to be careful how you manifest things. The things that are in Cancer are also going to be in a square to Libra. That includes Jupiter. Don't ever let the planets run amok in your chart without setting intentions and trying to utilize them to your best and highest good. That's how things work. When you do that, you give outlets for the energy to be expelled in a positive way. Like if things are going on with Mars, and especially when Mars enters Libra, it's a good time to be physically active because Mars needs that physical release. So that's what I would say is utilize your intentions. You have to quit. I know that you are always weighing the options, but you can't be looking at all the negative. This is negative, and this is the bad thing that can happen. This is the bad thing that can happen. This is the bad thing that can happen, because it won't benefit you in that way, because it will happen. You'll be right. You'll be right. You will find that you have such powerful things happening in your chart that you need to do a little guidance and intention setting with what's going on in the cosmos. So, and you have to do it with a positive attitude. So that is Libra. So what comes next? Scorpio. Good news, Scorpio. We have the sun at 0. We have Jupiter like at 1 degree or 2. No, Jupiter's at 2 degrees today. And that energy is great. You know what's even better? Hecate is at 0 degrees of Scorpio. And Mars has finally moved into Virgo after being in just either Cancer or Leo since September 2nd. What a nice change for you. Work that magic. Scorpio, you have so much psychic energy. Mercury is in Cancer and more the later degrees. So whatever you have in Scorpio is in a trine to the things in Cancer. Utilize the new moon energy. You got to do that. So what is Scorpio's oracle card? Material harvest. Material harvest. So Scorpio would be happening, is it around the 20th of October, something like that? Material harvest. You are going to love Jupiter being in Cancer. Love, love, love. Hecate is also in your sign right now. Hecate probably will be there for a month or so, maybe a little longer. Hecate usually takes about 5 years to make a complete orbit, but she's working with you now, and Hecate is a friend. If you're a Scorpio, I consider Hecate a friend. Hecate is on my ascendant. So material harvest, this 9 feels like the 9 of Pentacles to me. And that is getting great stuff in. You know, you've established yourself. Normally it's a woman, 9 of Pentacles, that energy, 9 of Pentacles, but this shows a man as being there and has more than enough, has money, has, if you'll see, it has money, it has an abundance of different things. Wine, water, fruits, Scorpio energy. Okay, what are the tarot cards for Scorpio? Scorpio. Okay. Sorry, they want me to shuffle them. Okay. Now they feel better. Okay, here we go. Scorpio energy. Oh, yes. Set intentions, make magic happen. This is the magician. This is Gemini energy. Mercury is currently in Cancer. Again, a trine to you. Hecate's in your sign. Make magic happen. Make magic happen. This is the 4 of Cups. And this is interesting for this particular, it's like the teenager fear of missing out. Oh, I never get any good stuff, right? I never get any good stuff. Someone drew this card for me. It wasn't this particular card, but it was like the usual Rider-Waite tarot. And you see the universe has this big hand offering a cup to this person that's sitting underneath the tree. There are 3 cups spilled, but it's like, do you see what the universe brought? And that person laughed because I was over in England, and it was just like everything was working out for me. So he was laughing because it was like, wow. And what else would you like, my lady? You know, the opportunities that came up were amazing. So take that energy and work with that. That is the magic. That is the magic of what you can have, Scorpio. I have Neptune in Scorpio. It's square to my nodes. It is also was stationing to go direct when I was born. So it's a very powerful thing. So I have a huge amount of respect for Scorpio. And I don't want you ever to be mad at me. 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness. Make it happen. Okay, Scorpios, I'm going to say thus far, you have got it going on. Utilize the magic that you have in your life. Look at it like I am, not only am I ignoring the 3 cups that are empty, I am getting an upgrade. There's my upgrade right there. The universe has something better for me. So if you ask for something, say that or something better, because you don't want to limit this kind of magic and what's going on in your life. Amazing. That's amazing. So I'm going to shuffle these into the other. So what are we looking at next? That'll be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Jupiter's sign. Jupiter's in Cancer. Congratulations. Why do I say congratulations? Because Jupiter is in a place where Jupiter loves it. It's an honored guest. It's like, what would you like? Let me get it for you. I mean, in its own home, it's great. It's comfortable. It knows everything. But an honored guest, you don't even have to do the work. You just say, I would like this, please. Okay. How fast can I get it for you? So it's really beneficial for you. It's definitely beneficial because you have just been through a year of Gemini being in control of Jupiter. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. We had a lot of things going on. You did also have a ton of things. I will say we just did a Sagittarius full moon release. And one of the things I noted was that the new moon in Sagittarius, from that point on, we got it was just like, will it ever end? It's just like one bad thing that happened after another. Because you started off with a Mercury retrograde, and then Mars went retrograde, and then Mars went retrograde through Leo the entire month. And it just wasn't helpful. And then you get into the other part of, oh, great. We have all of the Venus and Mars retrogrades, and then Mercury went retrograde at that same time. It was just a mess, and it wasn't fun. And it was so for me, I told everybody from the new moon in Sagittarius till the full moon in Sagittarius, it was just a lot. It was tough. And I said earlier last year that at Christmas, there's no joy for Sagittarius this year because it was really hard. It was really, really hard. So let's take a look at this energy. So what do we have here? Emotional loss. I think, well, the other thing to pay attention to, this is also, you can see this as a symbol for Venus, right? That conch shell energy. So emotional loss. I will say that that the energy of Cancer will bring out emotions also. Mercury is currently there. It's still overall really good energy for you. But if you have had any suppressed emotions, those will be coming out. And so find a valve, physical activity, grounding, your fire sign, and you've got all the energy coming at you from Aries, right? You just had Mars leave Leo, and that would have been in a trine to you as well. So lots of juice. Now, Mars is in Virgo, so that's a bit better energy. But Jupiter, you can work with Jupiter now with all this energy going forward. So pay attention to what's the degrees are in your chart, and when Jupiter might be addressing some of those things, because Gemini would be in a square. No, I'm thinking something different. Sorry. It's an inconjunct Cancer to Sagittarius. So what it can be, and think of inconjuncts this way. Inconjuncts are what athletes do or what songwriters do. They just have this feeling that it's not quite right yet, or they want to make a better song, or they want to get a better time, or they want to perform better. And utilize that energy of the inconjunct, because usually it's a problem that doesn't really have an easy answer, but it is Jupiter in Cancer for Sagittarius. So the energy will work for you. It definitely will work for you. But think of it that way. Don't get, I would say, disappointed because you feel like things aren't right. I think that things are going to be fine. I think that you'll really figure out how to accomplish things, right? If that's your first house, there's so much that you can personally do. And I think that is your challenge, is the fact that you set a goal, but you can do better. You keep needing to strive to do better. That's that long distance archer energy, right? Keep at it though. That's what Saturn trining Sagittarius energy. Aries energy, fire. Sagittarius energy, fire. It takes 2.5 years for Saturn to go through a sign. So I think you'll find, especially in this the first part of this, this is a chance to utilize doing something every day to get yourself a little bit better all the time. So what are the cards? Queen of Pentacles, grounding. You're a fire sign. There's a lot going on. Grounding, self-care, super important for you. What else? Decisions to be made. Yes, you're not going to know what the outcome is, but you do need to make a decision, right? You do need to make a decision. And you need to get out of your head. I think that's that part of that energy of it being an inconjunct. It's psychological. These can be bad dreams. This can be something else going on. Let me take a look at what's on the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming. The World. Do some things have to end? Yes, possibly. That must be that emotional loss. And it may have, I think you're going to have clearing out of emotions. To me, it feels like what has happened it's been something that's happened in the past, but you haven't dealt with it emotionally yet. So I think, that is what's going on. But you need to take that energy going forward of, okay, now I'm going to work on this for myself. Now I'm going to set little goals for myself. Yes, I'm going to fall down sometimes. Yes, I'm going to fail sometimes. But with Saturn, you do a little bit at a time, and then you get the reward at the end. And it's time. You have to put the time in. You have to, just little increments will help you along. And then the underside of the deck, the World. You have great opportunities coming up for you, especially being, your ruler is in its exaltation. So things can happen. And take a look at what else you have in your chart, where things are located in your chart. It's interesting that right now Jupiter is in a trine to Hecate. Hecate is very crossroads energy. She can make magic happen, but for you, I think it's crossroads energy. And she's in Scorpio now. So that's a trine energy. So things will be working, I think, in some, you have to make the decision. That's what the 2 was for. Make that decision, then act on it. This or something better. This or something better. And Jupiter will be conjunct the new moon on the 25th. So join us for the new moon ceremony that we're going to be having. I think that you'll find it will be to your benefit, especially since that is conjunct, the new moon is conjunct your ruling planet. Jupiter will be at 3. The new moon will be at 4. So pretty tight conjunction. Okay. Now we're looking at Capricorn. Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy. Dun, 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 dun. Throw those in there. Capricorn energy. I'm just getting your energy in here. Oh yeah, it likes being shuffled. Okay, what is the fertility, Capricorn? Here is the good news for you. Mars is in Virgo. That's trining what's in your area. And Mars just entered in. Mars in Virgo gets stuff done. And you're Capricorn, you're the same way. It's like there's a couple signs that you want to ask to help you move. And they're all earth signs, basically. You want Virgo because they're mutable, they make a great plan and they can handle anything. Capricorn because they will stay there and let's get going. They're a cardinal sign. Let's get this started. Let's get going. And Taurus, fixed, gonna stay there till the end and get it done. And you have Mars in a trine to both everything that's Mars is in Virgo. Taurus is in a trine with Capricorn. So you have really good energy for the next couple months because Mars will be in Virgo until August. You have really good energy for getting stuff done. So fertility, nice. And that's a number 3 card. So very nice. What are the tarot cards saying? What do you want? Things are going to be put in the right place at the right time for you. I can believe that. But you know what? Luck favors the prepared. That's what I will say. Luck favors the prepared. So yes, Archangel Michael has your back and will be putting things to your benefit, right? So Capricorn is also opposite Cancer. Jupiter just moved in to Cancer. So Jupiter will be having an opposition sooner or later with something in your sign. Think of this as your Jupiter, Archangel Michael. At some point or other, that opposition, I feel, will benefit you. It is a benefic. It might spur you on, I think. There's going to be something that gets you going. And it could be an activation from something else, I feel like. So it's not just Jupiter being in opposition. It's something else that's going to come up. So pay attention to what aspects might be in a sextile or trine, that would be Mars, to you. And that is one thing for sure that's going to be happening, is that will benefit you energetically. These people can be in training or they can be in each other's way. If you're having people help you move and you're a Capricorn or Virgo or Taurus, it's just like, I wish these clowns would like get a plan and know what they're doing, because they're doing all this stuff and they're not accomplishing anything. That's why you want earth signs to get it done, because they are amazing. King of Swords, discernment, making the good decisions. And I'm not too worried about you, Capricorn, because you do things in a very practical manner. For you to think it is to do it. And it's like the second you think of it, you're already on the plan, right? The second that you think of it, you're making the plan. And you've got Virgo with Mars trining that energy. I think those are dragons in the distance. My dog. So this is what you can look at. This is what you can see. That could be you in the future, King of Swords, because you were thinking, you acted upon things. Utilize that energy for your benefit, fertility, because doing those things will get you what you want. And utilize the new moon energy that's conjunct Jupiter in Cancer for your benefit. for my greatest and highest good? How can I work with this energy? That's that balance of oppositions. How can I work this with this energy for my benefit? How will that work? That's what I will say with Capricorn. You have a lot of really good energy going on right now. So Saturn is in Aries. That is your chart ruler, your planet ruler, your sign ruler. I get a little ditzy as I get towards the ends. So what is going on? Aquarius, what is going on for you? Aquarius. Obstacles and challenges. Yes. Well, you do have Pluto in your sign. You do have Pluto. And Pluto to me is, I will give you two examples. Pluto to me, number one, the first thing I made in my head was Pluto is Darth Vader is your fairy godmother. And can be a little scary. Everything is for your greatest and highest good in the end. It will take things out of your life it doesn't think should be there. And it's usually right. But here's the thing. You always have to give something up with Pluto to get further ahead. But you don't get to make the choice of what it is. Oh, if I have to give something up, I'll give this up. Pluto goes, oh no, it has to sting a little. So you have Pluto there. I have, my moon is at 6 degrees. My south node is there. So my moon is at 6 degrees. My south node is at 856, and my Saturn is at 903. Saturn's on top of my south node. I know what you're going to be going through. I've been feeling it already. If you have anything in the early degrees, up to like 4 degrees right now, you've already felt it. And it stays there for a long time. It's not always active all the time in your chart. Other things have to activate it periodically. So if it happens to be going over things in your chart, it's a long transit. And so there'll be different things that come up related to what house it is for you. So if that's your sun sign, look at the house that it's in for you. If that's your ascendant, it will be something that changes you on a very, very personal level. And your moon, what are you ready for? What is your, hopes, aspiration, dreams, intuition, hidden talents, emotions, all of those things. And always look, if it's not your ascendant, look at what house it's in. Mine happens to be in the 9th house, which I'm very happy about. So obstacles and challenges. 4 of Pentacles. Now, Aquarius is not one of those, well, I take that back. I have to say this. Aquarius is a fixed sign. So you're willing to be quirky and accept quirkiness in others, but sometimes it's hard for you to let go of your quirky ideas if they've been proven wrong. But usually you're so far ahead, you have a really long opportunity to change your mind before people catch up with what's going on with you. So that's what I will say. But this is 4 of Pentacles. This is, I'm sorry, Aquarius, I know this personally, because I have 2 sisters that have Aquarius sons. You do like to be by yourself. You like people. You just don't want to live with any, right? And I think that is what this is saying. I think that you're going to have to spend some time with the actual human beings. Allow yourself plenty of time for personal, private space. I have an Aquarius moon. I love living alone. with my dog. So good things are coming though. Pluto will change your life for the better. Definitely. The other thing besides being Darth Vader is think of Loki in the Marvel comics. Loki is kind of that Mercury energy. And it's kind of like, I will accomplish my goal by any means necessary. So if I need someone's eye print in order to open a safe, I'll get it by any means necessary. So this is why I tell you to be careful of Pluto, because Pluto believes in, I'm going to get this done by any means necessary. And I had Pluto opposite my sun forever. It's not fun. Not fun. Ooh, you do have the Magician though. Aquarius, that's Gemini energy. The good news for you, Aquarius, is that you will have Uranus working for the next probably 8 years very beautifully with Pluto, the unexpected things. So I know you're a fixed sign, but work with it. Work with the magic, work with the things that are going to be available to you. You're usually so far ahead of the curve that you can adjust, because other people are like trying to catch up with all of the ideas you have going on. And you will get lots of ideas, because that fast energy of Uranus finally leaving Taurus, which it found a little bit slow, things that will be trining the energy of Aquarius, you're just going to be needing to ground down some of the energy, because it's really, lightning energy. So it's fire, it's air, it's intense, it's in a trine, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. And you do have to stop and just turn it off for a minute or two and allow things to settle down. That's what I would say about this energy. Allow it to settle down a little bit for you, because initially there'll be obstacles and challenges, but that will smooth itself out. That will definitely smooth itself out. You do have Saturn is going to be going retrograde in July. So think about that, because that is your chart ruler if you're an ascendant. So, okay, let's take a look. I'm sorry. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. And Uranus can also be a co-ruler, because it's the modern day ruler. So I did not misspeak. So Pisces. Wow, you got to be loving this energy. So let's see what the oracle cards are for Pisces. Rest and rejuvenate. Rest and rejuvenate. Very good idea. Why? Because you are going to have, Pisces is going to have some very interesting energy. It's going to be beneficial, especially once Jupiter gets a little further on into Cancer. But the other thing for this time of the solstice, and it's the summer solstice for the northern hemisphere, and it's the winter solstice for the southern hemisphere. I'm from Minnesota. We understand both of those concepts very well. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, that's like winter here for us. And for most Minnesotans, we're running around like crazy now because it's summer and trying to fit everything we can possibly fit in that is summer-like, because this is our chance. Because winter here is really long. And what we do then in the winter is then we can rest. We can rejuvenate. Rest and rejuvenance. And for then, it's time to enjoy the things of home, the making chocolate chip cookies or homemade bread or homemade soups. That to me is the energy of the winter solstice energy. It's still celebrating, and it's nice because that celebration is a celebration of winter, and all the days from this point on are getting longer. So enjoy that. Now, for Pisces, to finish that up, we do have later on, past the solstice, after we get into September, we do have Saturn is going to be entering back into Pisces, and so is Neptune. Neptune will go to 29 degrees, the anuretic degree, in your sign, and Saturn will go all the way back to 25 degrees. The interesting thing about that is in November, at the end of November, we do have a trine between Saturn and Jupiter at 25 degrees. Now, 25 degrees of Pisces has been very, very, very activated because there's been a couple eclipses. The very first eclipse of this axis was at 25 degrees. It was a lunar eclipse. We did have a solar eclipse, and that was at like 23 degrees of Pisces, or it was, yeah. It was, the energy was 23 degrees of Pisces. It may have been a moon eclipse as well. So, and we have more eclipses coming. The good thing for you is that it's the North Node for you. And the North Node is where you want to go, where the collective is intending that you go. So rest and rejuvenate. Let's take a look. Eight of Cups. Leave behind what no longer serves you and move on. Whatever strife, whatever problems. Again, having Jupiter in Cancer will bring up emotions from the past that you've kept down. Lose the victim mentality. Pisces, on the lower energy of that, is victim mentality. If you've had any repressed energy because of that, it's going to be coming up. And you need to settle it out and move on and take the knowledge and leave the bodies. So this is that energy, the Eight of Cups. Moving into a brighter tomorrow. Very true. Temperance, this is the third time Archangel Michael has shown up. So you do have Archangel Michael that's going to put things in the right place at the right time for you. So set good intentions for this new moon energy that's coming up in Cancer. Five of Swords. Get out of that mentality. That's like, it's like, get out of that mentality. Get out of the nothing good ever happens. The whole world hates me. Everybody's bugging me. No one sees, with the South Node energy, we have to release servitude mentality, victimhood mentality, and Jupiter and Cancer will expand the emotions, especially of childhood issues. What is on the bottom side of the deck for you? Again, this rest and rejuvenate. You absolutely must take time out for yourself. Time to think, time to prepare, because I think the time that we do have these retrogrades is going to be finishing up some very big things for you. And I would even say anybody that has the North Node or their Saturn return is a Pisces return, you're not done with your Saturn return until it leaves that sign for the very last time. So if you have Saturn in Pisces, you still have some lessons to finish up, and that will happen. So this is very good advice. Rest up, because it's going to be, the nodes are fated energy. It will happen. You agree to it ahead of time. Whatever path that you chose. So if you need to have some hard lessons, Saturn is like Santa Claus. Saturn is, oh, what's this final card? Oh no, that's your card. Saturn is like Santa Claus because if you do the work, if you're a good boy or girl, you get great toys. If you don't do the work, karma. If you haven't been a good boy or girl, it's karma and it's coal. So that is the energy you should be aware of. But this is preparedness. This is knowing what's going to happen for yourself in the future. And I think that's a great energy to utilize for you, Pisces. Utilize the energy of the new moon, though. And then get rested and prepared and do your daily stuff. Keep moving forward. I think it'll benefit you in a big way. So thank you for joining me. And I hope that you will have an amazing rest of the summer. And I will see you soon.